Harassing Senator sent me to. The people there have decided to join our cause.
That's great news. One day, I'll be strong enough to drive that scum out of Commonwealth Way. As usual, I've got something else to look into. The scouts have found a promising spot for
and did the same thing somehow just slid through. And the Jets get a short-handed goal. Oh my goodness. That was against the short. Rodriguez, hold the line. Tries to break through. The Jets shoots it. Rebound, one score. Carter Hayes gets one back. It's a 2-goal game. Yeah, 3.5 minutes left here. The puck just jumped right on the Carter Verhaeghe stick. First of all, Rodriguez makes his way in around boards and look at it. Kachuk just throws it on goal. The puck is right there. There's the three into it. Just looks to hold the puck. Goal! Sasha Barkov makes it 5-4. The Cats have 2 in the net. Trailing off the play. Here's the breakout. Barkov way behind the play here. And you'll see it coming to the picture. And there's the red shot. He just challenges that glove hand. Rodriguez was there as well. Taking another look. Did he maybe touch that? Oh, that's pretty close. Rodriguez has. Here's the overhead. What Rodriguez's stick is comes right next to the glove.
Yeah?
Oh, I think he touched Ken. Connor doing just that right now.
Daddy, do you know how to dress?
Shifley picks it up. Here's Morrissey with a look.
Just like she
Forsman saved him. Goal is just the other way. Matthews got shot inches away from tying it. Unbelievable. The shot got in behind everybody. The short-handed chance. He's trying to get his feet. The shot gets by him. Taking down the Marquis on the bench. The Panther net is empty. 5-on-5 seniors now. Connor with an empty net. Oh, that's a heartbreaker. The Panthers had a chance to tie up the game. And then Winnipeg gets control back the other way. Long pass.
Every NFL game, always on the zone. Sign up at DAZN.com.
I never thought I'd be saying this, but I really need your help.
I might be able to help if you tell me what you need, Kate.
I suppose so. We're friends now. Which means I can trust you with anything. I'm also hoping that you got me back. Because I need it now more than ever. I'm sick. And I don't think I can hide it from you anymore.
Okay, calm down and take a deep breath. If you're sick, I want to help you.
Believe me, I want your help. But I'm scared. I'm scared that you'll hear the truth and that I'll lose you as a friend.
God,
I'm making a hell of a mess of this.
You'll never lose me as a friend, no matter what you say.
Damn you, it's so nice to be tired of it. I've even been doing it behind your back. Sneaking doses of everything trying to look. Worst of all, it's been making me sick. I've been spitting blood and I feel right inside. I need to get this shite out of my system before I wind up dead.
Tell me how I can clean you up.
Well,
There might
There
be a
might be a
way,
way,
but it's
but
not
it's
going
not
to
going
be
to be
easy.
easy.
There's
There's
supposed to be a
supposed to be a
vault
vault
somewhere around here. A
a
place
place
called
called
Vault
Vault
95.
95.
I've
I've
heard
heard
that
that
Vault
Vault
Tech
Tech
used it
used
for
it
some
for some
kind of
kind of
social
social
experiment.
experiment.
Stuck a bunch
Stuck a
of
bunch of
junkies
junkies
inside to
inside
poke
to
and
poke and
prod.
prod.
Well, they
Well, they
supposedly
supposedly
had some
had some
special
special
method to
method
clean
to
up
clean
those
up
blokes
those
in
blokes
there.
in there.
Some kind
Some
of a
kind of a
machine or
machine or
something.
something.
If we could
If we
get
could get
inside,
inside,
maybe that
maybe that
machine could
machine
help
could help
me.
me.
No
No
problem.
problem.
We'll get you
We'll get
there.
you there.
I
I
can't
can't
believe
believe
how
how
kind you're
kind you're
being
being
to
to
me,
me,
even when I'm
even when
letting
I'm
you
letting you
down.
down.
Look,
Look,
I
I
don't want you
don't
to
want you
think
to
I'm
think
some
I'm some
kind of
kind of
low-life
low-life
junkie.
junkie.
A stupid girl
Stupid
who's
girl who's
harming
harming
herself for no
herself for
good
no good
reason.
reason.
From one
From
friend
one
to
friend to
another.
another.
All I'm
All I'm
asking is for
asking
your
is for your
help.
help.
When you're
When you're
ready,
ready,
take me
take
out
me
to
out to
Vault
Vault
95 and
95
help
and
me
help
put
me
an
put
end
an
to my
end to my
pain.
pain.
Hey, Julius, you're so bad.
Sweet.
Thanks.
you'll be seeing this, right?
But I really need your help. Anything you need, Kate?
I was hoping you'd say that. We're friends now, which means I can trust you with anything. I'm also hoping it means you've got me back, because I need it now more than ever. I'm sick, and I don't think I can hide it from you anymore.
Well, tell me what it is already.
I told you this is hard for me, okay? I'm scared. I'm scared that you'll hear the truth and that I'll lose you as a friend. God, I'm making a hell of a mess of this. I didn't think it would be so tough.
You'll never lose me as a friend, no matter what you say.
Damn you and being so nice to me. I started this, so I suppose I need to finish it. Ever since I left home, I've been using Psycho. I don't know why I'm still taking that crap, but I can't stop. And believe me, I've tried. I can't even go a day without it anymore, and I'm fucking sick and tired of it. I've even been doing it behind your back. Sneaking doses when I think you aren't looking. Worst of all, I need to get this shut now.
Tell me how we can clean you
Well, there might be a way, but it's not going to be easy. There's supposed to be a vault somewhere out here. A place called Vault 95. I've heard that Vault Tech used it for some kind of social experiment. Stuck a bunch of junkies inside to poke and prod. Well, they supposedly had some special method to clean up those blokes in there. Some kind of a machine or something. If we could get inside, maybe that machine could help me.
up. No problem. We'll get you in.
I can't believe how kind you're being to me, even when I'm letting you down. Look, I don't want you to think I'm some kind of lowlife.
I want to do some work.
Stay sharp. Don't let your guard down.
I cleared out that spot you sent me to and set up a radio beacon there.
That's great news. Once folks have some... hold the road, I'll be willing to listen. Usually, I have something else for you to look into. Look, I'm working on your map. I can use as much support as we get. So, see what you can do to help.
hand out here, head to Ford Service, where Ford trained technicians know just what you need to get your Ford winter ready. So thanks to a 7:30 late start that ends up going to the ninth round of a shootout, I'm not even starting this until after midnight, meaning technically it's October 15th power rankings, but they're for October the 14th, so we'll just pretend it's the 14th when I start this. So, a lot of movement on this one. There's three teams that did a double-digit move. Because early in the season, there's some teams that maybe were expected to be better, they're not, and some that were expected to be better, that aren't. So, it does take a few weeks for things to settle out, and it's kind of fun to watch. So, number 32. I'm using the same box I used last week. Dropping 2 spots from last week is Anaheim. No, it's not fair. It's not fair. Anaheim has had one game. They get defeated by the Stanley Cup champions, and there they are at 32nd. I don't anticipate them staying there. There was a good work ethic from them tonight, which against the Stanley Cup champions. Number 31, moving up 1 spot from last week, is San Jose. I don't want to go to your head. They get the point tonight against Colorado. Well, let's be honest. Blackwood got the point against Colorado. The rest of the Sharks were there. There were some good efforts in there, sure, but it was Blackwood's point. So they're 31 on the board. So not really any reason to think there'll be controversy yet. Number 30, moving up 1 spot from last week, is Chicago. Now, after the win against Pittsburgh, I thought, hey, maybe Chicago's going to move up. Maybe Bedard's going to end up with a lot more points than he thought. Well, Bedard has, I believe it's 3 points through 3 games, so he's right around point a game. But the Blackhawks have dropped their last 2, and it is going to be a long season for Chicago. It's really a matter of how Brzezinski, how Bedard does. And then
how come you didn't show me your breakfast?
So at any rate, Chicago's got some decisions to make, but they're also 1 and 2 on the
What's your breakfast?
29. Same spot as last week.
Next time you show it to me.
I will say this, Kelly. Good effort.
Already okay.
First 2 games.
You're not seeing it.
I don't know how many shows are going to win this year, but the effort is there. There's definitely toughness. Having Hathaway and Laurier on the same line, that's going to lead to a lot of whistles, a lot of pushing and shoving and punching. So Flyers fans have that to look forward to. Definitely one of the hallmarks of this team right now seems to be about getting tougher to play against, and they are that right now. Number 28, same spot as last week, is Montreal. So they get the win over Chicago. They had the lead on Toronto, but hold on to it. Montreal is going to be a team that I think will score its share of goals. I don't know if they're going to keep enough pucks out of the net or really contend, but they keep the same spot. So the bottom 5 really quite similar to where they were last week, which it feels like is different from power rankings at the start of the season the way they normally are. Number 27, dropping 4 spots from last week, Washington. So again, we're looking at a small sample size, but that effort against Pittsburgh at home, that's not what you want to see from your Capitals or your fans or anybody associated with the Capitals. Yeah, that wasn't a great start to the season for them, so we'll see how things go for them this week. But they just looked kind of out of sorts, and between Pittsburgh and Washington, we knew they were both hoping to jump back in. Right now, it looks like Pittsburgh's the one that should jump back in the playoffs. For Washington, it may not be their year. It is really, really early. I completely agree. Number 26, same spot as last week, is St. Louis. St. Louis, they had a couple of really good starts from Bennington, but they had trouble scoring. They had trouble scoring against Dallas, and they had trouble scoring against Seattle. They did get the shootout victory, but I thought that was also alarming when it showed us with Seattle early in this young season. So for St. Louis, they stayed in the same spot. Not really much of a change there. So number 25, and rounding out this bottom row, dropping 1 spot from last week, Nashville. So rounding up this row is Nashville, who were 1 and 2. They played well enough, I guess, in that they get the 3-0 shutout victory over Seattle, but they lost the other 2 games against Tampa Bay and against Boston. And again, with Boston, it's going to be some really tough this year. Boston had a lot of one goal victories. At least seemed like almost every
Get out again.
and next row. And in the next row, we have a team that I'm kind of surprised at how low they are on this board. But I really, they dropped 12 spots. Seattle. So, year one, Seattle was bad. Year two, Seattle was very good. So far in year three, they've been bad again. And what's alarming is they might have had three of the best games that they've had with goaltenders. Whether it's Grubauer's first and second game, or DeCourt's tonight. All three games with goaltending was really good. They can't score. This is a team now that all of a sudden, a team that was the number one 5-on-5 team last year for goal scoring, this year it's gone. So I don't know how to justify having Seattle even in this row with the way they played to start the season. But they dropped 12 spots from last week, so I feel like probably not. We'll put the brakes on for now, and we'll see if once they get home and maybe get into some sort of a rhythm, maybe to get that offense going. But yeah, this is that first week, right? We got 3 games. If 2 weeks from now, through 9 games, they're still having those struggles, then we're going to be already having that discussion about, so how much does this hurt their playoff chances? Because we know that slow starts through those first 10 games can really recap your chances of making the playoffs. Number 23, another team is dropping. So, dropping 8 spots from last week, Buffalo. Buffalo's
The marketers fail to personalize their marketing. The result is a customer. That's true. This customer is filled with high-value customers with untapped buying potential. And could potentially buy more. With MailChimp, use real-time behavior data to personalize product recommendations and offers for all of your VIPs. So, turn repeat customers to high-value customers with Intuit MailChimp.
Car designers can change a piece of clay into a piece of art. Why don't they? At Nissan, things are different. Nissan knows what Girl looks like. Because they design it into every car they make.
going through the start of the season, they had some fight back in them against the Islanders, but in the end, they lost that one. And that's after getting handled by the Rangers. So for Buffalo, this is not the start they wanted. Again, Buffalo, a team that's had fast starts, maybe they're going to do a good way around, have a slow start and then charge from there. But Buffalo, a team known for hot streaks and cold streaks last year. They had a 7-game winning streak followed by an 8-game losing streak, and then they had another winning streak. Well, they're starting off with a losing streak this season for Buffalo and for their fans. I hope it doesn't last that long. And then at number 22, another team that's dropping. They're dropping 13 spots is Florida. Now, Florida played well enough to win over Minnesota, but they didn't get a goal. And then today against Winnipeg, I just felt like it was floppier hockey than what Paul Maurice did. So I'm sure Paul Maurice wasn't happy with the way things turned out for Florida today. And the fact this team has not won in its first 2 games, probably going to lead to some tough practices and whatnot. I do expect Florida to jump back into the top half of the board and end up in the playoffs. But for right now, for how they've started the season, they're in the third row and they're near the end of it. Number 21, moving up 6 spots from last week, is Arizona. Just one game. Just one game, and Arizona's up that much because it's early in the season. But Arizona looked good. They looked good in New Jersey. The Devils, a team that I think is going to give a lot of other teams headaches this season, and Arizona gave New Jersey the headache in that game. Really strong effort. Cooley looked good. That top line picked up what it left off last season. Arizona, I still don't think they make the playoffs, but they could at the very least make things very difficult for the season. Number 20, and I guess it's Jersey number 20, and moving up 5 spots from last week is Columbus. So they get the victory tonight against the New York Rangers. That allows them to move up past some of these teams that are dropping off. They lost that first game of the season as well, so where Columbus is at, we'll see. but I was impressed with Victory, Jenner's performance, and what has impressed me as well early on in the season, Elvis looks good. So if Elvis can get his numbers going and can turn around what's been a rough last couple of seasons, Elvis is going to stay in this hunt longer than expected. Number 19, and dropping 2 spots from last week is Tampa Bay. Now, I don't know if I've ever had Tampa Bay outside of the top 2 rows in back-to-back seasons. And I'm thinking back to 5 years now of the Blue Power ranking. I don't know that Tampa Bay has been 19. I don't know that they've ever dropped out of the top 2 rows for back-to-back weeks. But we knew they'd have a struggle with Johansson instead of Vasilevsky. Honestly, Vasilevsky being one of, if not the best goalie in the National Hockey League, and that's a debate we can have some other time as well, but it definitely seems to affect them. They started off well enough against Detroit tonight, then the barrage was on and they just didn't have an answer for it. Number 18, same spot as last week, is Ottawa. So the Sens, there are some reasons to be optimistic. It sounds like Josh Norris should be back in the lineup as soon as Monday. They are, at the very least, still trying to make cap space to sign Pinto. And I've seen comments, well, why is this such a big deal with Pinto? Because they missed their third line second. Ideally, Norris is there, Pinto's locked into that third line spot, and Ottawa should be a much better team if everything clicks, right? And I think Tarasenko's fit in pretty well early. I think he's done well. Zerer's picked up where he left off last season, and Sanderson looks good. There's a lot of reasons to be happy about Ottawa, but again, I have them in the same spot as last week. They're 1-1 so far this year. Number 17, moving up 4 spots from last week, is Calgary. They had a good first 2 periods against Pittsburgh. Could not close it out. If they closed that out and they won that game in Pittsburgh, I would have to have them in the top 2 rows. As it stands, they're as close to being in the top 2 rows as you can get without being there. So the fact that Vancouver is not in the bottom 6, Minnesota. So Minnesota, they're now 1-1. Ken Dudley lost against Toronto, so Gustafsson takes that great save percentage and kind of gets that. But for Minnesota, honestly, tonight's effort was not fantastic. But also, Gustafsson had to steal that first game. So they're 1-1, but to me, I have not been impressed by Minnesota as of yet. I've been impressed with Rossi. He's definitely making those strides. Like Boldy's played well, Favorite's been entertaining. Kaprizov's missed on some opportunities, and it just feels like Minnesota's still getting their feet under them. But the fact they're 500, we'll see how things go from here. Number 15, dropping 1 spot from last week, Winnipeg. So Winnipeg gets that win over Florida. They lose against Calgary. They end up ahead of Calgary because it doesn't matter if one team beats another when it comes to power rankings. It's not how it works. I pointed out before, it was just complete total chaos. Well, this team has to be out of that team, but they beat that. Well, wait a minute, they lost to that team. Well, wait a minute, let's just get straight to the chaos. But Winnipeg, I still think is going to be a playoff team. I think Shifley's got off to a really strong start to the season. And the one that I've been kind of disappointed in has actually been Hellbuck. Hellbuck so far has not quite been Hellbuck as yet. He's finished the games into the season. We'll see how his stats improve as the season goes along. Number 14, moving up 5 spots from last week, your Islanders. So top half of the board for them, and they only played 1 game. There you go, just play 1 game and move up 5 spots. But I was impressed with the Islanders tonight. I was impressed with Nelson. Sorokin again looks like he's going to be a world beater.
Your bathroom bleeds for pretty small spaces. The always-on odor-fighting air freshener you set and forget. No outlets used, no batteries needed, no effort required. So your bathroom stays continuously fresh for 4 to 5 days. That's the power for pretty small spaces.
Definitely the conversation for best goaltender in the National Hockey League. And so for the New York Islanders, 14th, I think, is the right spot for them now. Again, I do anticipate a lot of movement over the first 2 weeks. That's just the way that works. But yeah, the Islanders, tonight they look good against the Buffalo team. And for this point, has been disappointing. Number 13, moving up 7 last week, the Drake. So there's 2 ways you can look at this. If you're a Tampa Bay fan, you can look and say, well, they allowed 7 goals, and the answer's going to set back there. But if you're a Detroit fan, you can go, there's no 7 goals. You look back 4 years ago, they were lucky to get 7 goals in a week, much less in a game. and the goaltending numbers haven't been fantastic for a couple games, but they're going to expect themselves to win tonight, and we'll see how far they can go from here. One of the three teams in Ottawa, Buffalo, and Detroit has to finally come through, right? They can't all miss the playoffs again. That being said, number 12, dropping 9 spots.
It's okay. I'm fine. Not looking to cause any trouble.
Edmonton, I debated about where to throw, and I thought, no, we'll throw this way. Edmonton loses back-to-back games against Vancouver. The first game, they just simply were not ready. It just feels like they were not ready. Tonight, they outplayed Vancouver badly. They got gold. So I didn't want to have some kind of an overcorrection with them necessarily.
Never know.
What is the reason for concern? Yes. The reason I would have for concern if I was an Oilers fan right now is that through those first two games, very small sample size, both Campbell and Skinner have put out very devastating numbers. So for Edmonton's offense, this means we're going to have to score 5+ goals a game until that goaltending effort, right? And again, 2 weeks from now, we could be having discussions about teams that have got off to disastrous starts and how much it's hurt their playoff chances, and it doesn't want to. So this week they have to get it together, and they have to just forget about the games against Vancouver, forget the whole thing, and move forward and hope for better results. Number 11, dropping 1 spot from last week, and it could have been worse. But LA, they come back. They do get a point against Carolina, and I thought the comeback was impressive. I thought they did pretty well. So for the LA Kings, it's an impressive comeback victory. Just don't check it out. It kind of moves like it's thinking about falling home. As it does that, well, yeah, that would be.
You mean Preston?
But at any rate, yeah, the LA Kings.
He's over in the section. Trying to
they're falling out of the top 10, but they decided 1 spot. Just by 1. Number 10.
If you'd only been there earlier.
Moving up 12 spots here. This is on the board over I don't think any of those teams can connect with Vancouver in the top 10. Now they're 2-0. Both teams against Edmonton. Nobody's planning a parade. Nobody's planning a parade. Maybe Macy's, because you got Thanksgiving coming up. Nobody's planning a parade. They're going to impress the first couple of games. Great work ethic. All 4 lines doing well. All 6 defensemen doing as well as possible against an Edmonton team that can score. Victory for Demko. Victory for the Smith. The goaltending looks solid. Let's see where she goes from here. But yeah, that's as complimentary as I can get right now. They are the biggest mover up this week. That's how I choose the jersey I wear. Whichever team moves up the most, that's the team jersey I wear. So our rankings going forward. At the start, you'll know. Oh, that team had a good week. That's who we have the most because wearing that jersey. Number 9. And moving up 7 spots. Almost getting that same treatment as Pittsburgh. So for the Pittsburgh Penguins, last week number 16, this week number 9. And Carlson, I thought, had a better night tonight than he did in the first game. And I think they're starting to really figure things out, which is bad news for the rest of the National Hockey League. It's an old team. Not going to lie, it's an old team. But it's also an old team with Crosby and Malkin, who don't really look like they're aging. Letang, who is still a good defenseman, so there are detractors and all of that. And Carlson, like I said, he seems to be starting to pick it up. So if they can get the goaltending necessary, they're going to be an 8-3 team. And the Ducks have been right. So again, we'll see what the night set up. Pittsburgh threatening to get into that top row. Number 8. Same spot as last week. New York Rangers. I just knocked down my board cleaner. After that board cleaner. All right, number 8, New York Rangers. So same spot as last week for the Rangers. I was impressed with their first game. Less impressed with their second game. So same spot for the Rangers. I feel like I don't want to overreact necessarily this early to things when I already know that it's easy to overreact as you see this board. But I still think the Rangers will be okay to play the top tonight. And yet still, they did show some fight back. They just ran out of time, really. And so, yeah, the Rangers, and a rough night for Shesterkin tonight. I get the feeling he's going to bounce back in a big game next time. Number 7, and I'm surprised. I'm genuinely, pleasantly surprised to have Boston back in the top row. I had Boston 11th last week, they're 7th this week. So what did Boston do? I keep saying Gritty, and I'm saying Gritty even though that's Philadelphia's mascot, so hopefully I'm not infringing their copyright. But Boston, there's this hard-working style that is Boston style, and I think they're overcoming thus far a loss of Bergeron and Tracy. So all they did was beat Chicago and Nashville. I get that. Totally get that. That's totally valid. But when you construct this game and I was playing, it's not going to be spectacular hockey. It may not be the most fun hockey to watch, which is what I had said was going to happen with Vancouver. But for Boston, it definitely seems like it's going to be more of a lunch pail type team. Because you have to. You can't replace Bergeron and Krejci. You have to change your style to adapt to the team you have. And I think they've done a good job of that. Number 6. And dropping 5 points from last week. New Jersey. Jersey didn't look overly sharp in that victory against Detroit, and then they went into the So I felt like, New Jersey's still playing well, and they're still a fast team, and they're going to get through. If this is a slow start, they're 1-0-1. Lord help the rest of the NHL, and I still don't see New Jersey dropping out of the top row anytime soon. It's just I felt like there were 5 teams that right now I feel like, these are probably the 5 best early New Jersey. Still top 6, but no longer number 1. People have to be number 1. Number 5, moving up 2 spots to our team. Dallas. Dallas looked good. Just the 1 game. Against St. Louis. They win in a shootout. They don't normally win in shootouts. And there's a very limited sample size. Well, basically, they passed New Jersey and they passed the Oilers via New Jersey and the Oilers not necessarily having a great week. So it's less of a reflection on Dallas having a great week than anything else, but it's not top 10. I don't know if that's ever happened. I don't know if that's ever, and I don't know that it'll ever happen again. Next week will be something different. Number 4, I don't want to jinx it. Number 4 is Colorado. So Colorado escaped the scare tonight, so they move up 1 spot. Man, they outshot 52-21. Even Lord Blackwood. 51 save night by Blackwood. I thought he was going to steal it. I was like, I'm wearing San Jose for the recap, and I don't know that San Jose would have been any higher on the power rating. I mean, I guess it'd have to happen ahead of Chicago if they beat Colorado, but really Blackwood, I need like a little Blackwood sticker to put over the San Jose logo. But Colorado, they escaped with 2 points. They're undefeated at this stage of the season, which is still very early, but we know that they're going to be very likely cup contenders at the end of the season. Number 3, also moving up 1 spot, also for the Canes, not an entirely dissimilar picture to Colorado. The difference being that Carolina blew the late lead, and Colorado avoided choking away the victory by tying it late. So Carolina, the one thing I thought with Carolina too, though, was, okay, so they have their home opener against Ottawa, then they go to the West Coast and play LA. That's tough. That's a 3-hour time difference. And so I kind of gave them a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, especially with them being slow later on. Because remember, that's 3 hours later. So, it's easy to imagine that somebody would be tired. Sort of like if I lived on the East Coast, I would not be staying up pictures of car range. But surprised, I know. If we ever moved to the East Coast, the hotel would have to change because I'm not staying up until 1:32 in the morning to watch a shootout game in LA. So Carolina moves up to number 3 this week. And number 2, moving up 4 spots from last week, Toronto. Last week I saw Toronto fans, he hates Toronto, that's why he's always punishing Toronto, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what you're talking about. But I've done videos on that. I've done videos on how Toronto's been number 1 on the power rankings basically the 8 months of the season. It doesn't make any sense that if I hate them, then I'm going to put them at number 1, just to pull them out of them. I don't think it through that much. Anyways, Toronto moves up to number 2. I don't Matthews, it looks like he's going to record. He's still on pace for 246 goals, which I believe would break Gretzky's record. And yes, we all have that conversation about the playoffs, but right now in the regular season, Toronto's number 2. Which brings us to number 1, and I would same talking for Vegas, but for everybody else, the most Stanley Cup champions one can be retired for now. Vegas is number 1. So for Vegas, here's the trick. They've not had a tough schedule to start the season, but they're already 3-0. And already being 3-0 and banking all those points against lower ranked teams in the National Hockey League, when you're the defending Stanley Cup champions, it just feels unfair to the rest of the NHL. And they made it look relatively easy the last 2 games. And they overcame what was pretty good traffic defense by both Anaheim and San Jose. Both teams understanding what they had to do to log up the game to try to stop Vegas from winning. And Vegas figured it out both times. So Vegas will make it as tough to beat this year. I don't know if they're going to repeat. They can repeat. It's happened recently. Pittsburgh's done it. Tampa's done it. We'll see if Vegas can do it as well. But so far they're 3-0, and I think they've barely broken a sweat so far. So we'll see how things turn out for them. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to hit like on the video. Thank you guys so much for all your support. Again, I do expect these to change dramatically. I would say Vancouver. I can't see them staying in the top 10, but I would love it if they did. I can't see it. Detroit at 13 would be great to see them in the top half of the board for the whole season. And Tampa Bay is not going to stay in that third row. Tampa Bay is going to figure something out. They have to break both games done good work to really make it happen. And their brethren in Florida. Both Florida-based teams, I think, have just got off to really underwhelming starts. And that'll turn around. And yeah, Buffalo and Seattle to me stand out as the ones that have pointed so far. There was excitement for both, and it just hasn't worked that far, but it's very great to really work. So let me know your thoughts. Thank you guys so much for all your support. And have a good
I've got that locket back for you.
Blake told me what you did for us.
For marriage.
I know it's great. Any training. Let me know.
Got a decent mark charge. And Connie should have shown me on a price for
Seems to be going well. just want to try a few things.
On the CRV Hybrid, not only can we get
So you know how the other day we made a video about Jesperi Kotkaniemi on the Carolina Hurricanes, former Montreal Canadiens top pick, and a prospect that they drafted over guys like Brady Tkachuk and Quinn Hughes. Well, today what I wanted to do was go over an idea tossed around by Montreal Hockey Now regarding another player that was in that crop of guys that the Canadiens passed on at number 3. Although, when you talk about the Brady Tkachuks, the Quinn Hughes, these guys are kind of in a tier of their own. They're very good players, franchise caliber players, and definitely could have been worthy at 3rd overall had they had the careers they're having with their teams right now in Montreal. But today's topic is going over a guy that is not as good as the Bradys or the Quinns. Let's head over to a guy taken pretty soon after Quinn Hughes at 8th overall by the Chicago Blackhawks. Because today we are talking about Adam Boqvist, a player who is now on the Columbus Blue Jackets and who was taken in that same range of the draft. Now, just for the refresher, if you need to know, if you hadn't been around here for a while, 2018 saw Darlene go first, Svechnikov number 2, followed up by Kotkaniemi, Tkachuk, Barrett Hayton, Zadina Hughes, and then you had Boqvist. Boqvist in this time frame was a really interesting player because when it came to the young defenders available in the draft, obviously everybody knew that Rasmus Dahlin was going to be number 1, but there was this common consensus that the rest of the D class was going to be really good too. Quinn Hughes and Boqvist were both sort of seen in the same mold. Offensive guys who could rove around the offensive zone who are pretty small. Adam Boqvist was known for having a better shot than Quinn and maybe a more sort of dynamic way of attacking. Quinn was more of the rover, passing type of guy, playmaker on the blue line. Add to this, other defensemen like Evan Bouchard, Joe Jobson, and you have yourselves a really well-rounded top defense group in this draft. However, for Adam Boqvist, he has not exhibited that same Quinn Hughes-like development path ever since being drafted. We did make a few videos. In fact, the Why I Want for Adam Boqvist is the very first Why I Want video we've ever made. So there's kind of a historical tidbit there if you wanted to see that. But for Boqvist, after being a really good player for the Grenache IX junior team in 2018, he went over to London in the OHL and then made the Chicago Blackhawks debut. There, he didn't impress too much, and eventually got traded over to the Columbus Blue Jackets, where last season he had 24 points in 46 games played. 5 goals, 19 assists. The thing with Columbus right now is that their right side blue line, you could debate, it's pretty log-jammed, and it was discussed by Frank Saravelli even further. Take a look at this tweet made on October 10th, so a few days ago. Sources say the Blue Jackets have been engaged in trade dialogue with teams in recent days in an effort to move a defenseman from their NHL roster. They've told teams they would like more flexibility at that position. Since everyone is asking for a name, the truth is the Blue Jackets are open to different possibilities as they weigh value, likely centered around Adam Boqvist, Jake Bean, and to a lesser extent, based on minutes, Andrew Peeke. They'll likely move whomever they find gets them the most back. Now the thing is, out of these names, Boqvist, Bean, and Peeke, just in my subjective opinion, I feel like Adam Boqvist is a guy whose name still holds a lot of value from being one of these top prospects in 2018. We had seen just recently, Jesperi Kotkaniemi gets the bag with the Carolina Hurricanes, of course, we are seeing how good Hughes, Boquist, Bouchard, and these other guys have been. But for Adam Boquist, he's still in that developmental stage. Sure, he's 23 years old, but it's to a point now where you can realistically say that he's rounding out to be more or less what he's going to be at the NHL level. Sure, there's still growth to be had, and if he eventually becomes a 30, 40, maybe even a 50-point defenseman once in a few years, then that's going to be a pretty alright career. But right now, the Blue Jackets are interested in moving one of these guys. And because of this idea, we have an article published on Montreal Hockey Now, published by Marco D'Amico, saying that the Canadiens are a logical fit for the Blue Jackets defenseman. The link is going to be in the description if you want to go ahead and read this article, but it opens up by saying the Canadiens have been spending a lot of draft capital on D-men as of late, but may have an opportunity to snag a good one on the trade market. Sarah Bailey lists the likes of Jake Bean, Adam Peake, and Adam Boquist as one of the players that are likely going to dangle at this moment to gain more flexibility on defense. It wouldn't be a move that would be good for the Canadiens on online betting platforms, but making a backdoor move to acquire a defenseman as talented as Boquist could be a Kirby Dach-like boon for the Canadiens. And here's the thing, the article doesn't mention it, but Zach Werenski was sidelined afterwards, so who knows how that is going to affect the entire conversation on defenders in Columbus. It should be noted, though, that Werenski is a left-handed defenseman and the guy that was called up to replace him was David Juracek, who is another right-handed guy. So there you go, action for the Canadiens is a really interesting one, especially when you consider how the Canadiens might be able to make it up if they really wanted to do that. Let's scroll down and read what the Marco D'Amico piece says about the Canadiens and Boquist, being in the form of waivers and prospects, draft picks,
Henry Bird thinks Volkswagens are expensive to use. But they're actually surprisingly affordable. He also thinks the milk is still good. So maybe don't. See the numbers for yourself at bw.ca/.
For NHL-ready forwards, the Canadiens have the cap space to absorb Boquist's $2.6 million hit without necessarily having to unload any salary onto Columbus. Acquiring a player like Boquist instantly solves their power play quarterback and defensive goal-scoring issues, as Boquist looked phenomenal running Columbus's power play last season in the absence of Werenski. During the 21-22 season, the youngster put up 11 goals while maintaining that goal-scoring pace during the shortened 22-23 campaign. The 23-year-old would flourish under instant top-four usage in a no-pressure environment and could flourish under a coach like Martin St. Louis. Furthermore, the acquisition of the former 8th overall pick would give the organization more time to allow youngsters like Barron and Mailloux to simmer in the minors, assuming neither is used as trade bait after the fact for a top-6 forward. And this is something that I actually like. Like, to be honest, I guess you could say I'm being a bit biased because I've always been a fan of Boquist. I always saw Boquist mentally as neck and neck with Quinn Hughes. And of course, I mean, Quinn Hughes was one of the top scoring defensemen in the NHL last year with 70-something points. Boquist is nowhere near that. So even though things are a little bit different now, I still want to believe in the profile we had seen when Boquist was a young Swede playing in the junior SHL. The guy was a goal-scoring beast who could demand control of a power play and just roam around the offensive zone like it was nobody's business. He had pretty good edges, not Quinn Hughes level, but sort of almost fair, especially when playing against competition in his age range. And of course, the shot was definitely there too. For Boquist, though, heading into the long-term future, he's already going to get scratched in games like he was earlier this season. Kent Johnson, Liam Foudy, all scratched in the first inning against the Philadelphia Flyers. If he's already in a precarious spot where now his job is even more in jeopardy because David Juracek is going to be given an opportunity, then maybe a trade for Boquist can be all right. And if you're a Columbus fan, I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below what it is that you would want from the Montreal Canadiens if this trade gets done. If you're a Habs fan, what's the most you'd be willing to give up in an Adam Boquist trade? And do you even think this kind of move is appropriate? If long-term you have yourself a shuffling around with Reinbacher, Boquist, and then one of Mailloux or Barron on the NHL blue line, where exactly does the discrepancy lead you to go? Do you place one of these guys on the left side? Do you jeopardize the jobs of one of Gouli, Harris, or even Elaine Hudson? There are already a few guys on the Canadiens blue line that you could project to be long-term projects and eventual guys making the team in the long term. But where exactly does that picture go if you add one more guy in Boquist? And furthermore, is he even going to be good enough to dethrone the spot that we're automatically giving in the future to guys like Barron or Logan Mailloux? Talker, I feel, is probably going to be here, and he's going to stay. But behind him, where exactly does Boquist go? Who do you play him with? And what type of a style do you want him to have on this team? If he's a power play quarterback, let's say immediately, then that's great. But once Lane Hudson makes the team, who knows what job is going to be available for a power play quarterback in the first unit? Mike Matheson is doing a pretty alright job holding that down right now as well. And I kind of selfishly would prefer Matheson to stay on that top unit because I have him in my fantasy team. I think you all already know this because I talked about it so much, but I do have a bunch of these guys on my squad this year. But either way, Adam Boquist, Montreal, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about this entire idea? Do you think a trade is possible? The link is going to be in the description of Mark D'Amico's piece on Montreal hockey. Now there's a little bit more in that we did not talk about here in the video, so click the link, read it yourself if you want that insight. But for now, I hope you enjoyed this video. Charles 99 and 5.
Melt this sour mineral under your tongue to improve your vision, almost overnight. Did you know poor eyesight isn't just about your eyes? It's about how your brain processes visual information, and our eyes are nothing more than a carrier of that information to the brain. Here's the problem. Prescription glasses and contacts only address the symptoms, not the real root cause. Look, eventually it will get harder and harder to see things around you. Your family might even start wondering if you're able to take care of yourself. And next thing you know, you're being sent off to the old folks' home. Luckily for you, there's now a solution. Top scientists from the University of Cambridge made a shocking discovery.
Morning all. Alright, so a little late getting going today. Just the 2 games in the NHL tonight, after a busy night last night. So it does take a while for me to get used to that, and I don't know that I ever really fully get used to going from 4 in the afternoon until about 12:30 at night, just watching hockey videos and then going straight to bed. After that, it's uploading straight to bed, done with. So at any rate, that's one Saturday down. The one benefit of this year's schedule is it feels like it's more lopsided than last year's, so there's more nights, like tonight where there's just the 2 games, so I can just kind of take it easy the next day. So 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific, you got the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Ottawa Senators squaring off. Both teams are 1-1. Tampa Bay has scored 9 goals. They've allowed 9 goals. On the Ottawa side, they've scored 8. They've allowed 7. So their goals for 4.0 per game. Goals against 3.5. This is the first of 4 meetings. So we'll meet again November 4th, February 19th, as well as April the 11th. So these teams will get to know each other pretty darn well. And of course, they came into the league the same year, so they should know each other pretty well. 8:30 Eastern, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific, we got Carolina against Anaheim. So this is going to be interesting. All 4 teams that are playing today play last night. We'll see if fatigue comes into it, because again, it is early in the season. This is the first of 2 meetings. They'll meet again January 11th with Carolina. As I mentioned last night, like Carolina comes further out of the basket. The LA Kings, people pointed out the shootout, and they're in the league tonight. They're 2-0 in the season. They scored 10 goals. They've allowed 8. So 5.0 goals scored per game, 4.0 goals allowed per game. The Ducks are 0-1. They lost 4-1 first holiday against Vegas. But what is interesting is they've won their last 6 home openers. So they're looking to win another. They're 19-9-1 in home openers, which is one of the better marks in the National Hockey League. So for the Anaheim Ducks, we'll see how things go tonight, and whether or not they can overcome the odds and defeat the Carolina team that, again, might be a little bit fatigued being out on the West Coast, and the start times being all over the place. At least the 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific are closer to what they do. But yeah, the start times are all over the place. I just wonder how that affects players. I'm often the only announcer saying, yeah, it throws off my schedule when it's the match meeting. If certain rituals, certain timetables, the food they have is all on game days and all that. And it sort of throws off that routine for me. So let me know in the comment section below who you think is going to win tonight. And then just some notes on stuff going on around the NHL. You want to call these the daily catch, that's fine. So Austin Matthews Matthews with 6 goals in 2 games. He is, of course, the leader in goals scored. And with back-to-back hat tricks to open the season, only 4 other players have ever done that in history. Now, Alex Ovechkin did it in 2017-2018, but in 1917, 1918, a century before, 3 players did it. The identity, Joe Malone, Red Noble. I do believe that those 3 players are all in the Hall of Fame. Ovechkin's obviously headed for the Hall of Fame. And since Matthews joined the National Hockey League, he has 305 goals, the most scored by any player during that period. Ovechkin next up at, I think, 297 is what I'm reading. And so, yeah, Matthews is a pretty darn good goal scorer. Had a really good start to the season. We'll see if it's not enough to get after 50 scoring for all fans. But still, exciting to see him scoring goals to start the season. I'm wearing shirts because of Mackenzie Blackwood last night, and I had to go over this. So his save percentage currently is .981, and his goals against average 0.92 to this and overtime, and all the way to the shootout, he only allowed 1 goal because eventually Colorado had to get one. So I really do. I admire the Blackwood after Blackwood, a couple of really, rough down years for him, and it's really nice to see him healthy and playing well. Blackwood was one that I think, 4 years ago, I thought Blackwood was going to be a really good goaltender for the Devils, but again, everything just derailed from there, but he's got it back now.
Where'd he get? Oh my God!
That's how I see it. Garland has not asked for a trade. There's been no trade demand. Is his agent allowed to look into possible trade opportunities? Yes, that's been the reporting. Now, it doesn't mean that Garland wants to go anywhere, but the Canucks, they have a cap crunch that they're dealing with, and they want to improve their blue line. So the idea is that they could trade Garland and create $1 to $2 million in cap space while getting a defenseman back. That's what they'd like to do. It's going to be tough because most of the teams are going to leg up against the salary cap. Yes, LTIR is bailing out Cleveland, but I don't think there are teams necessarily lining up for the trade. Elliot Friedman also added that there's no timeline on when that may happen. Because again, it is tough right now. We're not going to trade the trade that they had the last couple of years. That should change next year, where the salary cap going up by as long as GMs can show some restraint. So hold on, anyway, so the Canucks looking to play Garland and free up some cap space in doing so. We'll see if they can make that happen. But Garland is apparently still happy to stay in Vancouver. And with the Optimus 2-0 start, I would imagine a lot of players right now are pretty happy in Vancouver. So Victor Arvidsson was placed on LTIR and it's known as well that he needs back surgery. If he needs back surgery, he's going to be out for a long time. So Arvidsson, a player that's been one of my favorites, but yes, he does tend to get injured. It's a shame to see this. Hopefully, if he needs the surgery, he gets it done as soon as possible. He's back as soon as possible, and hopefully he's able to make a full recovery after that as well. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing. Make sure you just tap upon the video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again.
cringe at those tricky game ads. They show you a cool game, but when you download it,
So there was absolutely zero movement in the draft lottery. That's okay. He maintained the second overall pick from the New York Islanders. Always feels good when that Stonks pick hands out, and it indeed did. He had the second overall selection. Nothing else good in the top of our own picks, but that's okay, because damn. Give me a second overall pick. It's definitely good. If you guys are enjoying the series, of course, hit that like button. This should be the last kind of big draft that we need to get the last big pieces for this retool. And after that, we're going to start. I mean, we already made the conference finals. We can pursue, better free agents. We're in that kind of stage right now. This is where we want to start turning around. Austin McAvoy approaching the tail end of their prime. This is when we're going to start pushing for those cups once again. Kopitar retired, Wheeler, Eric Stahl, Taves, Perry, Parise, Sashi, Lamont, and guys. Many of them were still pretty good. Fell off pretty hard. Jordan Stahl retired. Still 40 years retired. Okay, yeah, quite a few. That's some more names still here. Goalies, Marc-Andre Fleury in Buffalo. I love those goalies, and he was doing a real starter with the one tackle and fringe guys. Alright. So Kopitar has been focused on the coaches. Boston retired. Boston coaches now. They set up a pre-draft in. This is in it, figured out. 5'6" playmakers really but I don't think they really suck. I hate that. Why are they this bad and then they're yeah, whatever. Who's good at this is over here. A lot of playmakers, snipers, fortunately no power forwards. Really, really hoping for no power forward. Stuff that we're able to grab. I have a feeling this guy's going to be a power forward. Size and skill, size and strength, these are just 1 year EPA. As a likely goalie. Let's interview this guy. We already know he's pretty sure, but let's figure out his play style. I'm going to ask him what he explains this. Alright, so he is a power forward. I like that. I do want to it is his style. He actually is his style. It didn't indicate back in his, Alright, see if the personality drops. That's what. Yep. That's good. He actually is. I've drafted these guys before, and they, for some reason, don't show up as leaders in my, it's like the morale thing. Whatever, but yeah, this is definitely a lowly power forward here. We're gonna grab Deluzia for sure. He doesn't have any X factors initially. That's okay. He's really solid. 80 plus. Well, that's not guaranteed, but I think it only dropped to like 800. So he's got a really good shot. Plus skill's hard to say. A lot of it is harder to say, but we know he's not pretty decent. Now, 1 year EPA is likely to be in the low 70s. But obviously still works. The person is done
we offer a platform for you to build and grow apps with tools to support.
Well, no real point in like taking a gamble on him when that guy's right there. Yeah. I could go. Unfortunately, we don't really have any medium skills scouted. Fair amount of top sixes, but they're all in quote unquote normal range. That's all in the normal range too, yeah, so we didn't get a whole lot of help scouting with this. You know? Let's interview that guy around 32. So if he shows low, then it could be someone who's age traffic. We've got quite a few seconds. We might be able to have a chance to really take our pick of the litter of the guys that we really want. So let's do this. You can interview where I have to scroll. So 4-year, okay, I don't think so. 4-year ETA is not a good indicator. It's likely going to be medium 9. So that's not great. I can just stop interviewing all this finish anyway. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that guy is going to be medium 9. Yeah, 4 years ago, the biggest indicator of that, so you're playing right away on Chris. There we go, one more interview here. Guys who look interesting to me. Yeah, you'll look at it, it looks pretty nice right there. Good interview here to figure out what his player type is. And confirm each game. He's in a really good spot to be immediately.
Wow, still alive. That means either you haven't gone after that
606
yet,
I'll have him get that out.
Those super mutants won't bother him.
Oh, yeah, I have seen
the right person for the job, huh? Thanks, Ryan. By the way,
this guy, I think, for my last
we've decided to
the other guys are quite early for it. Now with the 3-year ETA, makes sense that you immediately steal there. But 3-year ETA in that range is still kind of normal for other potentials too. So, alright, so this guy's 2-way. 5-year ETA, I believe. And constant prevention. Alright, so equal, you'll fit, you'll connect. We get another check. It is, there's a thing where I like, only a second equal. And may have changed his potential. Alright, hold on, let me see if I can find it here. That's really good. I mean, it's still need only get one additional tick, which is trending towards top 4 now. But with, that's actually kind of good because now it's close to 7. Or as high as
just fine. Odds are coming up next. It's one hell of a race.
But I think it's cool. Anyway,
Hey boys.
okay. think that's probably going to be...
You want me to message? Actually.
Alright, so the San Jose Sharks won the Stanley Cup. Love to see it. Colorado got the Presidents and San Jose took on New Jersey in the Cup finals. Beginning with the Art Ross and the Hart. Carr got the Norris. Terramines the Radiation. Sanctimoni, as in the second got the Calder. He had a freaking monster with 15 points. Aibu got the Conn Smythe. Subban was the best net handily. Masterson was the Larson. Fred's coach was the Jack Adams. Mark got 3 years in a row with the Sun. At 1982 McKinnon and versus Darth McKinnon. On personal awards in Colorado. And Calder Cup winners in 68 and Philippines. I want to see eventually that our guys were there. Other than Poncho.
Hey.
Nope, we're do a quick check to see if any of our guys got
You know what I call a good day?
Okay, so that's that. Let's get into the draft. Dude, we have the second overall pick. God, just like that delay always scares the crap out of me. So we essentially have a lot of freedom. I'm still not a huge fan of winger playmaker. Another sniper doesn't make a ton of sense. This guy, while he's not bad, I don't want to wait 3 years. Another sniper may not make. I don't know who to pick here. I really don't.
What seems to be the problem?
For truffle lovers. And pizza lovers. Try our delicious new truffle trio.
I'm on
Made with truffle
As good as
mozzarella.
It's what middle stat. I'll necessarily be happy, right? Like, smacking is fine. It was pretty good in your next match. We're going to go to play hard to have some, but I don't know if he did. I mean, he's got X Factors. Group directors already. Yeah, that's another sniper we already have. So honestly, playmaker makes the most sense. Or the OFP. We got Gavin who's now I think already. Tucker might make it. 61 and 19. He's gonna still take him a while. Let's go back and see what else we got. Cole is a playmaker. God damn it, he's powerful. Flo is a playmaker. Florida, two-way. Honestly, with maybe even makes, yeah, we have a lot of playmakers and snipers. There's so many. Dopolis. Yeah, wait a second. Did we draft this guy as an elite? Didn't we draft this guy as a top? No, that must be someone else. No, okay. That must be someone else. Who am I thinking of? Holloway. So, yeah, he had to shut down. Okay. Yeah, the Dopolis is the guy who's really crazy. Mike. He might be a top 6, but Holloway should be solid. He should be top 4. Diego should be top 4. So like there's theoretically your top 4. You got Petcher in the top 2, you got Dopolis in the top 4. Honestly, that's enough. I know a team might not be bad. Anyway, Arizona makes their pick, they get a winger, playmaker, 82 overall. I really wish they had player search here. I want player search right now. I I want to try to find like a power forward guy, right? I feel like that is presently pretty neat. This guy's not good enough. Arizona, Graham, Playmaker. Playmaker. Cousins. Sniper. The Dark's a high franchise, man. Nothing there. Nothing really there. Johnson, I think, is like a two-way or a sniper. Anyway, it's not what we're after, essentially. Wow, Robinson. Standard sniper. Raven, Casper. Two-way. Everyone there. There. The other's not in. There's 5 field players. Yeah. They're not. I mean, they got to sign twice their best forward. Not happening. Sniper, good God, a single powerful sniper. My pops is not going to want to get it. Well, there's what you want, but not good luck getting these 9 fields are all there with the Preds. That's insane. Literally their best forward, too. So Phil Forsberg, Bennett, Milan. And it looks like they're actually willing to give these guys up. They want to build around Faith. In which case, like, yeah, they want the 2nd overall, but they're not giving up Faith. Ah, man. Like, yes, we're able to get that guy in the late first, and I guess that's going to have to do. But who the hell do we take with this pick? I really... there's nothing that really needs here. I'm going to take another look. Like, we got Savoy and Rubra over whoever Rubra's going to have this. You know, Savoy is another sniper. Rubra is pretty solid. He's a real guy, though, so maybe the connection skills are less so. That does happen. Like, maybe the skill stuff players don't really take enough shots. Like, when you're doing this policy, you're I haven't been super happy about his moment. I'm hoping he's going to do well. When it comes to it, it's a good argument. It's I'm not super excited about it. The biggest argument is like yourself to it. I don't like that when it goes to X Factor. More, but like McAvoy puts up more than enough points. Yes, he will be there for that. shot, the FPV, the left shot here. There's a lot of options on the way. Look at the guy, those two are the only ones. Like, hey, you know, you should be like, you can't do that on both of these guys because they're the top boys that we want. Pretty good chance to do, but they might also maybe the best bet is to take that over. See the best play back. I don't really like the other guys. I'm sure I do that for the something, but he's a smaller guy, but he's still pretty good. I don't like that he's stuff. Another thing. I'm pretty sure our other guys are mostly cycle pitch. It's a bit conflicting. This is actually a very, very hard pick to make. Oh, I can't check it. Who knows? It's not. See if they have slightly different. As long as education is intact, you get some chemistries. And again, chemistry is never the end all be all. One wants to trade their pick. We could just go off the board draft. I don't hate doing that, but I don't know if I necessarily want to. Fifth overall would make the most sense. They're actually listed as a seller, which means they'll want the second overall pick. What the hell else do we draft? I don't really need more picks necessarily. Stacked for the season. Huge amounts of seconds for next season. Ridiculous. We don't need to draft super heavily anymore.
Took care of those schools, so was trouble.
You did? That's great news. Lady, you and the Minutemen have our credit. And our support.
Do I have anything I want? I know I'm not a time.
Another day of hard
Never changes.
I don't really have anything I want. I can look at the blues, it's not going to be too much value though.
Yeah?
I don't know, man. I don't mind.
Let's see what you have.
Other guys in there.
Lots of people think.
We go cool stuff. I think I was looking at this guy somewhere. Yeah, he's really into that. Okay.
I only test the weapons on customers I like. Feel free to roll with us.
Let's see what you got.
Let's get you outfitted to kill her.
Still need a goalie sooner rather than later though. Which does make sense to think the guy is higher overall. So, and theoretically, you get rid of the worst overall guy. But then we're pretty much trading a goalie for a goalie, and not getting anything else of value back. That we need. I don't know, man. Not a lot of this makes a whole lot of sense. Fuck it, man. I don't know. I really don't know. second from 29, dude, I really don't know. This isn't the greatest return of all time. They're probably going to reject it because they don't want to give up any of this stuff. Alright, we'll still accept it. That's okay. Alright. Well, let's hope the sign he was not. Okay, so he is, again, he got it. And then they picked that guy. Oh my goodness. They must have just been targeting him the whole time. Wasn't he listed at 4? God, the AI is so bad. Yeah, he was listed at 4. And I think we're still going to get looked at. It cost us 79 playmaker. They want us to go for video widths, but no. Again, this guy is smaller. This goes slightly bigger. Oh yeah, it's okay, guys. Okay,